My daughter took a skills assessment recently and she texted me the results and followed it up with, "It makes me feel like you." And the next text was, "Ew." Actually, I told her, "It's an improvement on me because you got your mom's mercy, which doesn't show up on my tests." Here's my Gen Z daughter bringing some of our attributes into a new generation. I am so hopeful that she'll take her skills and keep pushing the ball down the field, but do it better than I ever could have. Generational memes are some of the funniest memes on the internet, with boomers and millennials throwing jabs at one another. When I say what generation is still living at home, what do you think of? When I say they can't figure out technology, who do you think of? When I say the raddest generation, yeah, we all know which one that is. Here's the thing. We all grew up with different influences and carry forward attributes from the previous generation into the next generation. And then somehow, when there's differences in approach or attitudes, we start throwing stones at each other. My grandparents are from the greatest generation. My parents are both boomers. I have a sibling that's a millennial and a child and grandchildren that are Gen Zers. And I have been formed by each of those people and the generations they came from. And yet, at times, we let caricatures form our view of others, and that tends to limit what we can learn. In our quest to cross divides and build bridges, generational divides can be one of the most socially acceptable divides, and yet, it's still a divide. Anytime we're throwing stones across divides, it's something we need to look out for. You know what's interesting? We, for the most part, want the same thing. Did you know that almost 70% of Americans agree that family, children, and friends give us meaning? And yet, when it comes to divides, we view those on the other side of the divide with contempt, as less intelligent, and more evil. We are all recipients of those that went before us. Some good stuff, some bad stuff. Thing is, each generation gets the opportunity to filter out the bad or keep the bad, filter out the good or keep the good. But when we separate ourselves from the generations that went ahead of us and those that are coming behind us, it's tough to know the good and the bad, and ultimately, we don't get to take a step further down the road. Here's my point today. When we choose to separate in our society, whether it's because of politics, generations, socioeconomics, ethnicity, neighborhoods, or anything else, we are all losing out. The skills assessment my daughter took, the truth is that her skill set looks a lot like mine and my wife's, and a lot like our parents and our grandparents and probably our great-grandparents. As we navigate divides, it's important to remember that the more we bring a variety of perspectives to the table, a variety of generations, ethnicities, socioeconomic backgrounds, political allegiances, we will all be better. We will move further together than by ourselves. Today, let's live faith first.